morning. Well, they've enlisted Martin Sheehan and Deborah Messing, so they're bringing out the big guns, the left, to try and push around the electors in advance of the meet on Monday.
And Hot Lips Houlihan. Don't forget. I haven't showed you her picture yet.
I was wondering where Loretta Swit has been hiding low these many years. Has Klinger weighed in yet?
Klinger hasn't, but...
what about Radar?
Radar hasn't.
Alan Alda. I know he's got to be
No, but the guy who plays... What's his name? Come on, Jacobson. B.J. Honeycutt.
Yes.
That actor who played B.J. Honeycutt on MASH. He's in the video.
Well,
he's in the new PSA.
Fantastic. MASH is so current. That's really going to inflame the passions of the kids. There's a good piece by Bill McGurn in the Wall Street Journal, Mau-Mauing the Trump electors. Mau-Mauing, by the way. You know where that comes from? It was popularized by Tom Wolfe in his book, Mau-Mauing the Flatcatchers, of course. But the Mau Maus were actually a political society in Kenya that used, frankly, acts of terrorism to drive European settlers out. Okay. Yeah.
Information you will only hear here on AM 560.
Well, so McGurn says, look, the Electoral College, as the framers conceived it, despite these newfound acolytes of the Federalist Papers like Marty Sheehan, McGurn says, the Electoral College, as the framers conceived it, never meant to be independent of the popular will. The framers had tremendous respect for the judgment of the people, and the electors aren't supposed to be de novo second-guessers. He also reports there have been 150 faithless electors in U.S. history, only 9 since World War II. It would seem unlikely the left could get 37 on Monday. But for more on this topic and a few others, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend Bret Baier, host of Fox News Special Report, 5 p.m. Chicago time, Monday to Friday. Also the author of the book that ships right after the first of the year, but you can order now, of course. 3 days in January. Bret Baier, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. I learn something every time I tune in here.
Well,
Mau, don't mau.
Yeah, see if Krauthammer.
I thought it was from that kitty litter commercial. I don't know.
See if Krauthammer knows that. Shame Krauthammer a little bit. I bet he doesn't know it.
I'll quiz him.
Yeah. What seriousness do you apply to this gambit by the Hollywood celebrities and left operatives to cajole the electors to not vote for Trump on Monday?
It's right around zero.
Yeah.
It's because, listen, all right, let's say what they want to happen happens, okay? And a few of the electors vote for John Kasich. He then becomes an option because so first of all, Trump below 2%, that means 37 electors have to vote for somebody other than Donald Trump. Let's say that happens, and they vote for John Kasich or Mitt Romney. Now the race essentially goes to the House of Representatives, and they have an option. They have to vote by the Constitution. They have to vote for the top 3 vote getters, electoral vote getters. So then, since somebody voted for John Kasich, you would have Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, and John Kasich. But guess what? The House is going to vote for Donald Trump. So even if what they want to happen happens, it's still Donald Trump. So it's
so this is all this is all their effort to just undermine the legitimacy of Trump and maybe take a piece out of him so that the left feels more comfortable going after some of his cabinet nominees or his forthcoming Supreme Court nominee. I mean, this is just to weaken him, I suppose.
100%. And I think that's what's happening with the CIA as well. I mean, there is a lot of leaking going on from the CIA that is not backed up by other intelligence agencies. And I think it's all an effort to delegitimize the Trump administration. And talking to people in Trump world and on Capitol Hill, they feel like they just want to have blinders on. And if they can keep the president-elect from reacting to every story on his Twitter account, they think that they're going to get a lot done in the first it may take 200 days, but it's going to happen quickly.
All right, Baier, not your position, but Fox News' position on this Russian hacking. Did Donald Trump collaborate behind the scenes with Putin to have Hillary's emails hacked? Is there any proof of that?
I don't think there's any evidence that that's the case. Mm-hmm. This whole thing from Josh Earnest referencing the press conference on July 27th where, Trump says, Russia, if you can, find those 30,000 Hillary Clinton emails. It's hard to get to he was saying Russia should hack Hillary Clinton's emails. I mean, this was a reference to that the server was already wiped clean. And I think they're making a jump, and I think Josh Earnest is increasingly stepping up his rhetoric from the podium, which is a different message than we've heard from President Obama at the beginning of the transition.
Speaking of the transition, his cabinet, Trump's coming into focus. A couple of slots yet to fill, Department of Agriculture. There's some news reports about the Idaho governor as a possible candidate. But I wonder what you're hearing about VA. We haven't heard much about the VA post in a while, and given the scandalous management of that agency and the import of that agency with respect to providing health care and other benefits for our veterans, that is an important choice that he makes, and I wonder who or what you're hearing about that choice.
I hear that Pete Hegseth is in the running. He's a Fox News contributor, former the head of the VA, the Veterans Group that really called for a lot of the changes inside the VA. There are other names, but nobody that's stepping out other than Hegseth. It's a big bureaucracy, and whoever it is going to have to really change things around quickly. And I think that they're taking their time with this choice. On agriculture, they were hoping for Heidi Heitkamp, the Democratic senator, but there was a big lobby effort to try to get her to stay because she's from a red state, and that would be another senator in the Republican column.
Do you think Sarah Palin's out as a VA secretary?
I think so. I've heard her name at the beginning, but not recently. So I don't think that she'll be running the show.
Now, then there's this important pick for National Endowment of the Arts, and the Daily Mail reporting that it's going to go to Rambo. And now that's fun.
Well, it needs congressional approval. That's going to be great.
Fine, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it. And I want
Kanye.
Well, I was thinking if he goes with Stallone for NEA, then for the National Institute for Humanities, he goes with Carl Weathers, and you got a little bit of a rivalry there again.
What's interesting is the picks who want to destroy the agency that they are then heading up. For example, Governor Perry, infamously wanted to erase the Energy Department. He erased it from his mind in that one debate, but he wanted to get rid of it, and now he is going to head it up.
Yeah. All right, we got to get you to weigh in on this fake news contretemps as well, with Facebook announcing yesterday they're going to use Snopes and the Poynter Institute to flag fake news stories, and the irony because Facebook and so many of these so-called legitimate news organizations make so much money off fake news ads on their sites. It's part of their business model. It's part of their revenue model. So, how do you view fake news and the not governmental regulation of it, but regulation of it by big social media or big search engines like Google?
Well, I just think that you have to check the checkers. The fact checkers sometimes have their own biases, and it is an issue. However, I mean, I spend quite a lot of time answering emails and messages that say, "Why aren't you covering this?"
Right.
And I'll say, because it's not true, and people are convinced that once they read it on the internet that it is true. And there's a scary part of that. But, we could spend every moment of every day fact-checking things.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Important, though.
He is Bret Baier. He's the host of Fox News Special Report, of course, 5 p.m. Chicago time, Monday to Friday. Also, he is the author of the book, 3 Days in January. That ships right after the first of the year if you order now, right, Bret?
January 10th, it's the launch date, but you can pre-order, and there's signed copies already out there and about. But you can go to 3daysinjanuary.com, and it's about Dwight Eisenhower's final farewell address 3 days before JFK's inauguration, and the importance of that transition and what we can learn from Eisenhower's administration.
All right, sounds good. Good little post-Christmas stocking stuffer, since your stockings will still be up January 10th anyway. All right, Bret Baier, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
We'll see you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
If you